Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? I'm Mano, back at it inside of Destiny with a different video than I usually do. Since the majority of the Destiny 2 beta that's going to be happening this week is going to be Crucible and PvP, I wanted to make a video of all the ways that you can get better at PvP in a very short amount of time, especially inside of Destiny 2. I have some firsthand experience from that. I got the chance to play Destiny 2 with multiple classes at E3 in PvP, including all the subclasses except for the Sentinel Titan and the Void Walker. Those are the only two that I haven't gotten a chance to see or play inside of Destiny 2, but I've learned a lot from just watching videos and understanding how my experiences when I was playing kind of reflect about how the game is being played right now. So some of these things are basic things that can be used in many FPS games, but many people don't know them, but some of them are also exclusive and specific to Destiny 2. But hopefully this gives you some strategies to go wreck while the beta is live and also when Destiny 2 launches. Easy thing number one, turn off the vibration. Yes, some of you love having the vibration on your controller, but I can tell you right now from firsthand experience, this is something that you can do instantly and you can see a massive change. I can't believe that more people don't do this inside of competitive play. Having a controller vibrate and shake increases the loss of control, gives very little defined feedback, and it's mostly a distraction to most people. In fact, most top tier PvP players have the vibration turned off. Almost all competitive players have it turned off. I found that I became significantly more accurate once I actually talked to some of my friends, and they were surprised that I was still using vibration on my controller. And I was basically winning a lot more primary weapon fights when I turned this off, as well as getting better at sniping. And of course, let's talk about the reasons why. The feedback that you get from the vibration of the controller is completely worthless compared to the amount of information that you get on a screen. For example, on the screen, you can tell if you're getting hit from a grenade. You can look for a different color, types of grenades. You can tell if you're getting shot from a distance, snipers from a distance, sitting in an area of effect where you're taking a debuff, or anything else like that. When a controller shakes, it just vibrates the same way. Maybe the only difference is that there is a different length of time, but other than that, it just shakes. It doesn't tell you anything else. But Mano, we're looking to have like a more real in-depth experience, realistic, you know? Yeah, my response to that is that when you're throwing purple shields around like a Captain America and making a spear made of lightning and a sword of fire, those things don't happen in the real world. If you want to get better in an FPS, especially like Destiny, turn your attention to what you see on the screen and turn your vibration off. Number two, use your class tactical abilities and get to know how to use them right now. This is a newish thing inside of Destiny 2. Titans now have barriers, warlocks have rifts, and hunters have different evade abilities. Really, the Night Stalker was really the only one that had something like this intrinsic inside of its class. This is something amazingly simple to say, but learn how to use these abilities right now. Titans, you have the ability to use a barrier, which is insanely important. It can close off an entire section of the map and keep other enemies from getting power ammo, as well as getting different objectives. Area control using this ability cannot be understated. Warlocks, being able to use empowering and healing rifts, especially when engaging in a strategic point on the map, is going to be crucial to you and your team. Use them at stronghold points where your team is going to be passing by them, even maybe by accident, because we all know what it's like to be playing with blueberry randoms that don't necessarily play with you. But being able to engage enemies with a buff like empowerment or an overshield for even a second can make or break a gun battle. Hunters, the ability to actually see when you can use your different evasion abilities in relation to the other classes can make a massive difference in falling back and playing more strategically. Even with PvP slowing down a little bit, being able to get out of sticky situations quickly will help keep you alive for a longer period of time. Most of the hunter mains already kind of understand that by using the Night Stalker evasion, but it's not a new concept for us. But now there's an actual guide to see how long it takes you to use those abilities instead of you just constantly spamming shade step, shade step. You'll have to be more precise and know when to use it, but if you do, you're going to have a leg up on the competition. Strategy number 3, smart supers. Back in Destiny 1, the only way you knew if people on the opposing team had their supers is if your eye could move fast enough to see the blinking yellow effect around your teammates and around your opponent's power level. Especially with the new supers and the new HUD, playing smart with your supers is extremely important. You now can actually see who has those supers. When I was playing Destiny 2, I actually got an opportunity to talk to my team and actually strategized when we were going to pop supers supers at different times. Now, most of the time you're not going to be talking with 3 other people on your team, but you might be. So being able to go into that situation knowing what supers you're going to use to counter other supers and everything else like that is going to be huge. We ended up crushing the other teams that we ended up playing because we strategized about how we were going to use our supers at the right time. For example, if you have a golden gun, then being able to engage the other supers at a distance is vital. If you're a gunslinger and you're going up against basically a arc strider, I almost called it a pole dancer, even though it is, you know that it's going to be one of those things where you're probably going to lose that engagement because they're going to be able to cross the distance a little bit faster. They might be a little bit able to be more evasive. Finally, be smart when popping your super. 99% of the time, you want to do it in an area of cover. There is nothing worse than popping a super in a sniping lane or a lane where people are just running by and you get your super taken away instantly by a nice shot from the other team. Positioning is number 4. One of the strongest aspects of Destiny to date is how mobility works in relation to the game. Even though the pace of PvP is going to be slightly slower, knowing how positioning works can help give you the edge in almost any engagement. First off, once the beta drops, get into the maps that are there and start to memorize all the different lanes, areas where engagements happen, and more. Some people in the gaming community call this the heat map. Where do the engagements start and where do they lead to and where do the kills happen in the game? Once you have an idea of how the map is laid out, it can also tell you about smart places to engage people and where to not engage people. For example, if you're in a long lane, for example, you want to make sure that you have an out. Always make sure you leave a way to get out or to engage other players. Finally, number 5, swap weapons rather than reload. This may seem basic to some, but to others who have really got into the habit of having no special ammo in Destiny 1 or have spammed sidearms for the last 3 months, being able to use 2 primary weapons, 1 kinetic and 1 energy, will make a massive difference in the game. What I did when I played was ran a hand cannon for close quarters combat and a pulse rifle for long range situations. Scouts would be a good choice too, but I know many of you are going to want to mix things up. Just definitely make sure you think about the range of the guns in comparison to the distance you're trying to engage. You know, using the weapon with the correct range for the engagement is going to make or break your gun battles. Again, this may seem like some common sense, but to be fair, many people have gotten into the habit of just spamming sidearms at ranges that are ridiculous, and that won't really be a thing, hopefully, in Destiny 2. From what I experienced, it is not going to be it. So there are 5 easy tips on how to improve your PvP skills in no time, especially during the beta. If you guys like these kind of video series and these tips on doing PvP, I really don't focus on PvP too much, but if you guys enjoy those kind of videos, leave a comment down below. Let me know that you do. A positive rating is always greatly appreciated, so make sure you hit that like button if you found it to be worthwhile, and subscribe for more Destiny 2 content. We're going to keep it locked and loaded here, get as much information out to you as possible throughout the beta. I really hope you guys have fun out there. Hopefully I see you during the beta, and I'll see you next time in the universe of Destiny.